Before we get started with today's interview, just a quick reminder, click the thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and ding the bell so that you don't miss any of the great interviews that we have coming up. Now, on to today's interview. Welcome back, everybody. Today, I have a really special guest with me. Today, my guest is composer Wynn-Anne Rossi. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am delighted to have you here.
I'm glad to be here.
Excellent. Next, I'd like to talk about your piece, Ocean Ebb, Ocean Flow. And I have to say, I cannot wait to teach this piece. And I can't wait to work on this with one of my students, because one of my very favorite things to do when introducing a new piece to a student is asking them for their insights about how the composer put together the work. And so being able to, you've kind of done the Kabalevsky thing. A lot of his pieces, you can account for just about every single note in the piece once you get past that original idea. Talk to us a little bit about some of the things that you did when you put together Ocean Ebb, Ocean Flow.
This piece begins with question answer, which is one of the basic, most important things to teach when you're teaching composition, because it is about the interaction of phrases. It's about the importance of movement in music, going up and versus going down. There's a lot compositionally in this piece, and gosh, I love a minor key. You know, just a basic minor key. They're so beautiful. And of course, when you look out on the ocean, you don't necessarily feel major. You feel minor when you look at water. So that movement of the waves coming forward, and then you've got the waves moving back to the water again. This was a really easy piece to write. I wrote it very quickly.
Interesting.
It was a very, very easy piece to write. And then taking it up an octave, it makes such a difference. Moving it around in octaves. I many times when I'm teaching, I'll tell students, where could you take this piece? Let's take it to different places on the keyboard and see what happens. I mess around with the students all the time, taking them away from the score. And this is a perfect example of something that works in any octave. And then, of course, you've got the interaction at measure 8 and 9. Talking back and forth. This is a very conversational piece.
When I sight read measure 8 and 9, it almost seemed as though you were setting the words of the title, because we have that ocean ebb, ocean flow, and I felt that exact thing, as though you had built it in very deliberately and intentionally.
You are so smart, because I worked the titles into these pieces all the time. With chicken noodle soup, noodles, chicken.
Mr. Calling us a jingle composer.
Warm chocolate chip cookies, warm chocolate chip cookies. I worked in the titles and some of the haiku into the music itself. So you're very perceptive to point that out.
Oh, well, I love trying to figure out how composers put together these works. I think that's just a wonderful thing. But I have a question about this piece. So I saw that you have your opening motif in the first measure, and then right after that you retrograde it, and then we have the opening motif and an imitation of it as the waves kind of cascade over each other in measure 5 and 6. And then you have that second motif in measure 8 that is the ocean ebb, ocean flow. How did you put together measure 10? I'm stumped about that part.
I'm going to disappoint you, Sam.
I don't think you could disappoint.
Because I just followed where the water was going. I just followed where the water was going. And so much, even with the retrograde, I don't know that I was thinking retrograde at the time. You know, it's just where the water was going. Kevin Olson and I have talked about this before, and he's one of my heroes. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing when he's doing the things. I never know what I'm doing. I'm the fool. I'm the fool in the room.
Hardly. I think that you do a fantastic job of following your compositional instincts and trusting your own compositional instincts, and the results are fantastic. So, it's pretty tough to argue with that success. Is there anything else you want to tell us about ocean ebb, ocean flow?
Pedal is so important. Oh my goodness. You're going to find this in all of the pieces in Daily Comforts. We don't often think about the fact that when you attack a note, that's not where the sound is. It's between attacks that the sound lies. So when you get a longer phrase going under one pedal, there is so much sound going on and so much magic. And it's so important for students to listen for that sound between the attacks, because we're so focused on what we're doing, we forget to listen to what's going on. So in all of the pieces in this collection, the pedal is very important, and listening deeply to the sound between the attacks.
Well, Wynn-Anne, thank you so much for taking time to talk with us today and share your wisdom and your insights and your knowledge. We're so incredibly grateful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Sam, and I hope we get to keep contact a little bit more.